Hey everybody, how are you doing? So I just want to take a real quick moment and talk about this energy because it is brutally intense. What I'm noticing is that the mind is looping and it's bringing forth all those things that we thought maybe we had worked past. So this can be fears, it could be insecurities, it could be memories from past relationships, and it's as if the mind is doing everything it can to stay relevant, to stay in control. Because what's happening, we're in this state of surrender, in the state of surrender to our highest self, to our spirit, to these body changes and the next steps. And so it's interesting that it almost feels like what can happen is a deep battle within, very much over head versus heart. Are we going to allow the thoughts, the fears, the insecurities to change our direction, stop us, make us still? And so what I'm seeing in people is significant depression. It's really that type of depression that is deep seated. And what Spirit had, I said to Spirit, I said, okay, what can I do? How can I advise others on how to work through that really deep depression? And the answer was interesting. It was shake it up. What do you always do? So if you're depressed and you always withdraw, seek outside. If you are depressed and you do a certain thing, you always do the ABCD, switch it up and do XYZ. Even things as far as like, what is your routine, right? If you are someone who always does yoga, try a different exercise. If you're somebody who does things like hiking, try swimming. It's things like that. It's, can you break out of your routines, your habits, so that new and different information can come in? Because the mind is doing everything it can to stay top dog, to stay in control. And, you know, it's very interesting because both Sekhmet and Isis have said this is an incredibly sacred season. And this is because the energy that is coming in has the potential to shift us in ways that we can't even fathom right now. So it's very much about this full embodiment that is coming in, and there is this resistance that's within the body, that's really within the mind and what it's doing. And as the mind spins, as the mind creates these scenarios and these thoughts and people are feeling off, the body is reacting, and so it's tight and it hurts, and it's we're wanting to go into this hermit mode, right? And it's interesting because what's being asked of us is actually the exact opposite of, can we start to now shift and open and walk in our truth, walk in our power? And so you can see how that the difference between the two creates incredible resistance. And that resistance isn't easy. It's not easy to work through, and it really needs to be the main thing that we're working on, is looking at all the ways that we stop ourselves, all the excuses we make, all the ways that our mind spins and makes us miserable, and start to systematically dismantle it by doing the opposite. So for many, there's persecution wounds coming up. There's the fears of being seen, of, what's going to happen if they walk in their true power, in their true natural essence. So the cure for it is to walk in your power. So it's literally this, can we do the opposite? Can we look at things and go, okay, I can see where I'm making myself small. So, all right, let me do this. I can see where I'm withdrawing. I'm withdrawing into myself. okay, let me make a phone call to a friend. It's, can we do the opposite of what we've normally done? Because our programming, our habits, our everyday way of being is very set. It's very fixed. And we're working on busting out of that now. So look at yourself and look at what's going on. What is your mind saying? What is it doing? What is it creating? And then from there go, okay, yep, I see that. All right, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this up. Everything in me wants to stay home and stay away from people. Well, I'm going to go out. And so it's a fascinating dynamic, because not only do we have the energies that are coming in from the sun and really coming in from within. I mean, we have a lot going on with this embodiment process, but it also feels to me like there's been energies thrown at us, and I'm going to call them frequencies, that are designed to smush, to silence us, to stop this process. There is the yin and yang of this reality. And so whenever there is more light on the planet, there is also more shadow. And until the light is so incredibly bright that there are no more shadows, we will be in this state of yin and yang. We will be in the state of going, okay, the more light I hold, the more it's exposing my shadow, the more it's uncomfortable. And you can hear my neighborhood. It's busy. We've got dogs barking. You can hear the cars. There's this feeling of almost like too much activity. There's a feeling of unrest. And I've talked to so many others, and I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. It's not just my neighborhood. And there's this feeling. It's a busyness. And it's really reminiscent of the busyness of the mind that is so desperately wanting to stay in control. So, as I've been working with spirit, working through my own stuff, absolutely, because this is not a comfortable time for any of us, I don't think. I haven't talked to anyone who is sailing through this time right now. Everyone I know that is working on themselves, who is in this process, is going, whoa, this month of June is a lot, and it's a lot. And so recognize that. I don't want you to feel like maybe you're feeling in exaggeration, or that, you're falling behind, because you might be looking at other people and going, but they look like they're okay. I don't know anyone that's okay right now. That's the truth of it. I even talked to one of my daughters. She's having this dream about, I can't keep my head above water. Like she's in a pool and there's all this water and she can't keep her head up. Well, that's kind of where we're at. And so keep that in mind, that everything that you're feeling, in very many ways, it's normal. It's normal because this is where we're at and we are in it. So take that to heart and just know that you are not alone. I don't care who you are, what level you're at, we are in it. And so as I've been working with Spirit, they really did ask that I do a healing for the solstice. I'm going to be bringing in some information, so I'm calling it a transmission. Some information coming in from Spirit about ways that we can work with ourselves and next steps in this process. And then a healing for the solstice to help you connect in with your own sacred geometry. So that is going to be a live session, actually, and we're going to do it on Zoom, and we're going to do it in the evening of Tuesday the 18th. And because I know with time zones and life, many people are not going to be able to join live. You will absolutely get the recording, and you're going to get it in enough time so that you can listen to it again or for the first time on the solstice. So at the information of this video, I'll have a link so that you can sign up for that healing. And it's the way that it's going to be designed is so that, yes, it's great for the solstice, but you can listen to it anytime you're needing assistance, particularly if it's one that really seems to help shift you from the mind into the heart, because I think that we are going to find that this is This is going to be a very interesting time, and it feels like almost into October, November, where the heart is gaining ground, and as the heart is gaining ground, the mind is losing, right? And so what happens? The mind spins, the mind loses it, and we are uncomfortable. So take care of yourself and know that you are not alone. We are all in it. And I'm offering a healing on Tuesday the 18th for the solstice. Join me. Take care.